Hi there, I'm Andrea Sarita, and I wanted to make a quick video for you on how to stay healthy and on track going into this holiday long weekend. So I've got 7 tips that I'm going to share with you, things that I've found have worked really well for me. So first of all, I like to make sure that I am very hydrated going in to a holiday celebration because our body can mistake thirst for hunger and then we end up eating things we may otherwise not. So I actually start every day with drinking an entire one of these bottles before I eat or drink anything. And I just find that it helps me make better choices throughout the day because I'm not thirsty. And I tend to drink more water throughout the day too by starting my day that way. So definitely going into a holiday celebration, want to make sure that you are well hydrated. Second of all, I always pre-eat before I go into a big celebration. I do, and it's funny because I didn't always do this. I used to starve myself beforehand, like I would skip a meal or have a very small portion. But now what I do is I have a really good breakfast, I have a really good lunch with lots of volume, so lots of veggies, things like that. And so that when I arrive at the celebration, I don't want to eat everything. I just am able to enjoy a little bit of everything and not go in there ravenous. So I would really encourage you to consider pre-eating before you go. And again, the idea is not to then not eat when you get to the party. You do eat, you just are able to make better choices because you are not starving. Next thing I always try to do, especially when I'm looking at treats, is I try to keep 2 things in mind. I want to think, first of all, is the treat worth it? So going into Easter, is a specialty chocolate from a chocolatier worth it? Maybe. Is a homemade cake worth it? Maybe. Are Walmart foil wrapped chocolate eggs worth it? Probably not. So I will skip those because they're not worth it. So that's the first thing I think about. The second thing I think about is what is the smallest amount that I can have that will make me happy? And that varies, from day to day and depending on what the food item is. But so often before, it would go like this. Would you like dessert? Yes, please. I get a big piece of cake. I automatically eat it. Now I stop and think, what is the least amount of this cake that I can have that will make me happy? And sometimes it is the whole piece, I'm not going to lie. But more often than not, it's just a bite or two. Or it's a sliver instead. And then I'm like, you know what? That was perfect. So those are just 2 things to keep in mind this weekend. Is it worth it? What is the least amount that I can have that will make me happy? The next thing I do is I try and watch my liquid calories. So at our celebration, there's wine and beer and different things, and I will enjoy something, but I'll maybe only have 1 glass of wine, so that way it leaves room for other special foods that might be coming later on in the celebration. I always bring something. I always bring something, whether it's a potluck or not, that I know the numbers on so that I can log it appropriately, that I enjoy, and I usually try and make it so that my family enjoys it too. And that way, when I go to a party, I can go and have a little bit of things that are maybe higher in calories, that are maybe more treats, and then I can have more of what I brought. So that would be another tip: is to bring something where you're going that you enjoy and fits in to your healthy eating habits. I would encourage you to track honestly. So if you're using a tracker, which I do, I use MyFitnessPal pretty religiously, and I would encourage you to be honest about what you've had because that is an awesome learning opportunity. If I choose to eat the entire gold Lindor bunny or the giant Kinder Egg, I've got to put it in MyFitnessPal so that I know exactly what I have had. And then next time, I might choose to make a different choice. I might not, but I might, and I've learned something. So I would encourage you to be honest with yourself and not just I just won't put that in there, because you still put it in here, whether you put it in there or not. Well, that's just something to think about. And then lastly, and possibly most importantly, my last tip is to enjoy yourself. Life is not meant to be endured, it is meant to be lived. And food is not just fuel, like we may have heard out there. Well, look at food as fuel. It's not. It's also celebration and family. And there's so much more to it than just fuel. So please enjoy your holidays. Only have what's worth it, the least amount that you need to be happy. And remember, It's no one meal or one day that makes or breaks our health. I didn't get here by eating one healthy meal, and I certainly didn't get to be my highest weight by eating one bad meal. It's what we do the most of the time, and it's what we do excessively. And with that, I wish you a happy Easter.